Ethan Hamilton on his left boot, the one that he scored that wonder goal with, and he just could not get it on the target.
So Ethan Hamilton thought he had Dundee into the next round, but deep into stoppage time at the end of the 90, Junior Adamu came off the bench to knock in the equaliser, set up by Sebastian Chinekti, who then, in the opening couple of minutes of extra time, turned winning goal scorer in the end for what was quite a spectacular 120 minutes at Celtic Park. Celtic through, but that was in doubt for a long time this evening. The full-time score after extra time, Celtic 2, Dundee 1.
Thank you very much to Rory Hamilton and to Michael Stewart there. And what a cup game we have been treated to here this evening. Dundee thought they had done enough until the dying seconds of regulation time before Celtic struck, and it was two substitutes that made all of the difference. Junior Adamu getting the equaliser, and then Sebastian Chinekti very early on in extra time proving to get the winner. Charlie, you caught your breath.
Oh, what a game. What a game. In the end up, Celtic turned up in extra time and showed a real intensity and a desire to win the game. Dundee were unbelievable for 90 odd minutes. They probably deserved to get the result, but Celtic never say die attitude. Martin O'Neill brought that here. I said before the game, the best thing that Martin O'Neill's done is won games when they've played poorly, and he's done it again tonight.
Certainly has. And Tony, his bench made all the difference, didn't it, in this one this evening?
I think the Celtic substitutes really contributed. I thought Luke McCowan was excellent. Chinekti, obviously a man of the match performance, you would think, with an assist and a goal, and the left back coming on scratchy as well. I thought they did, but it was a fantastic cup tie, and really huge credit for Dundee playing their part in that as well.
Yeah, you have to say, Charlie, credit to Dundee, because for large chunks of that match they were absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, they were brilliant. They were really good. They defended really well. Celtic offered nothing in the final third for large parts of the game, and the impressive thing about Dundee is they broke away well, and they created chances, and they were impressive tonight. Really done well, and Celtic again, you thought there was no chance they were going to score, and then Chinekti comes up with that bit of magic, and that's what happens when you make new signings. The ones that are already here, the players that are already here, step up because they know they've got competition for places.
Yeah, you can see Junior Adamu there on your screen. He made all of the difference. He came off the bench and he managed to tuck this one away in added on time before Chinekti got the winner in extra time. Much more reaction and all of the analysis on the way. Well, here at Celtic Park, the hosts needed extra time in order to get past Dundee and book their place in the quarter-final draw. Let's hear from both of Celtic's goal scorers. They're with Iona Bannatyne.
Congratulations, you are through to the next round of the Scottish Cup. It wasn't straightforward. How would you sum that one up?
No, as you said, that was a hard one, you know. I felt like maybe we didn't play so good today. I felt like the rhythm wasn't there. So, yeah, it was some magic in the end there who held us in the game. And I'm thankful that we scored also in the extra time, and we are true. It's the most important thing. We want to go far. We want to win the cup. So yeah, it was important for us to win today.
You set up that last-minute equaliser and then scored the winner. What a way to do it!
No, as you said, I felt like a couple of matches or through the whole season, maybe I haven't been maybe I haven't scored a lot or haven't a lot of assists. So I'm just happy that I could help the team today, and I'm just happy to get going, and hopefully it will be more.
And Junior, scoring on your debut, that was a very important goal for Celtic.
Yeah, for me, amazing feeling. Like, I feel really happy. I'm very happy to help the team, and yeah, I'm happy that we are in the next round.
How important is this competition, just in terms of stability and momentum for the season ahead?
No, as I said, you know, we are Celtic. We want to go far in every competition we play, and yeah, we want to win. We want to win the cup. So for us, it's really important to go through. So yeah.
What did the manager say just before extra time? Because intensity seemed to really pick up.
Yeah, he keep us telling us we have to be calm. We will make the first goal and then we keep going. And now we did it well, and I'm very happy that we are in the next round.
All right, well, congratulations, both of you, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, the goal scorer is there with Iona, and really, I mean, you talk about making an impact, don't you, on your debut? And Junior had been on the pitch a matter of minutes, and it was such a cute finish, wasn't it? Maybe just an indication of things to come from him in a Celtic shirt.
Yeah, it was a clever finish, considering there was no space in the box. He managed to sort of hold the defender off and flick it. Clever, know where the space was, know where the defender was, used his body well. Yeah, it could be a sign of things to come, because he came with not a great goal scoring record, and maybe he's been questioned a wee bit, but you can only judge him for what he does for Celtic, and yeah, that was a good start to his Celtic career.
Let's go back to the start of the story though, because what a goal this was from Dundee to get themselves in the league very early on in that second half.
It was a brilliant goal picked up by Ethan Hamilton, and again, as I say, it just catches the eye of Liam Scales. Congreve's running, the strike is outstanding into that top corner, and it then allowed Dundee to function their game plan, which was very much about stopping passing lanes into Celtic strikers, forcing them wide and doubling up against them, and I thought they did that fantastically well until that last minute when I did say it would have been a piece of magic by a wide player, and that's what it was. Tanecki did that in a wide area, got Celtic their goal, and obviously took them extra time.
Yeah, I mean, until that point, it was Dundee who'd really enjoyed the bulk of the best of the chances, and they had an opportunity to actually double their lead in that second half. Ugan with an opportunity which ended up being cleared off the line, and then this happened just 3 seconds from the end, Charlie. And you talk about the positional sense for the Dundee defence.
It's brilliant for Tanecki taking that away from him. He does really well here when Celtic weren't creating much. He does a wee bit of magic here, but if you look at the Dundee player in the front post area,
I think you're right, Charlie. It's Callum Jones. He's a midfielder. He's probably no thought like you would as a centre half, filling that front space, and that's what's ultimately done them.
I thought it was a centre half, but it makes sense as a midfielder. A centre half's instinct at that point should be shutting the inside shoulder and not letting anything go across the 6-yard box. He's tried to read the cutback and then allow the ball inside the box, and that's where the danger is, inside the 6-yard box, and that's why Celtic get the goal.
I mean, psychologically, from Dundee's perspective, it must have been such a blow. You think you're across the line. They thought it was 5 minutes, but then Kieran Tierney went down, and VAR did indicate there would be extra time added on to that, which was very much the case. But then, as soon as extra time happened, Celtic had the sort of wind in their tails, didn't they? And Tanecki, we just heard from him there, was able to put this one home.
Yeah, and I think when you look at it here, it's the wee give and go. Halliday gets done on his inside here, and he skips into a good position. That's a good strike. Whether John McCracken thinks he can save that, he's near post, but it's just the 1-2, and he just gets on the inside of Halliday there and onto his favoured right foot, and that is a great finish.
The intensity picked up. You could see a clear difference as soon as it went to extra time, and I think it's down to what Martin O'Neill hopefully comes and speaks to us. I'm desperate to ask what he actually said to the players, because Tanecki never done that. Even when he came on, he was effective, he was fine, but he never sort of came with that intensity. Celtic done a lot of stuff outside the box. We're going back. The fans were moaning to get it in, and I understand why they didn't put it in, because there was loads of players inside the box, Dundee defenders, but that wee bit of magic there just shows a wee bit of raising intensity and what it can do.
I mean, right at the death though. I mean, we saw Celtic score at the end of regulation time, and then this happened, Tony, just at the end of extra time, and I mean, they'll be kicking themselves they couldn't make this one count.
Well, we're standing here and I actually thought the ball across, I thought it was going in, I thought it was a goal, and we were heading for penalty kicks, and you know what, it's no more than Dundee would have deserved. But then when it comes out to Ethan Hamilton, who in my opinion was outstanding, he just doesn't make that clean contact that you're wanting in the last seconds of the game. So, but where we were standing, it looked like a goal.
What's it say about this Dundee side, the fact that they have been able to push Celtic so close? They beat them at Dens Park, they lost 1-0 here, and played really well against them, and then here again today.
Well, it was no surprise they kind of took Celtic all the way to the end. The surprise would be is how little control Celtic had in the game for long spells. Dundee had loads of possession, and the game plan worked perfectly. As I said, they stopped spaces, they broke on Celtic, and they caused real problems. I was really impressed by them today.
Well, let's hear from Stephen Pressley. Then his side came so close to progressing into the quarter-finals. He's now with Iona.
Stephen, what's the overriding emotion following that one?
Pride in an incredible performance from the team. We left absolutely nothing out there, but not just the effort of the group, the tenacity, the bravery in possession, just the desire to win a game of football was exceptional today, and I'm so proud of those players. For many of them, I think they've come a long, long way. We have to sometimes, even though it's really difficult today with the disappointment, we sometimes have to see the bigger picture. And that would be my message, that we can't give any more than we gave today. And it was disappointing to lose such a late goal.
Just seconds before that final goal, it could have been the final whistle. Does that make the disappointment kind of even harder to take?
Yeah, it was one more action we needed to defend. If we had, we'd be, speaking about the next round of the Cup. But unfortunately, that's the way. The one thing about Celtic is, these sort of clubs always score late goals. It's a habit that they have. They keep coming at you and at you. And I thought we'd managed to ride the storm. I thought we'd shown that mentality. But we're really unlucky. And I'm just so disappointed because I couldn't be prouder of the group today.
A word for your goal scorer, Ethan Hamilton. That was some way to do it and kind of maintain that lead for a long time.
Yeah, I think since Ethan's come here, he's been an exceptional player for us. He's such a presence in the middle of the park. He's brave with the ball. He's so combative. And the one thing that we'd love to see him do is add to that with goals. And thankfully, he scored today. He's been an amazing player for us.
That was quite a way to announce your first goal, isn't it, for the club? A goal of that quality and even just that composure as well, Tony.
Yeah, it was a fantastic strike, but I thought his overall, contribution towards the game and to come up with a goal like that in such an important fixture. But I thought he controlled the game as well. I thought, the way the two teams were shaped up, Callum McGregor and Ethan Hamilton were the two spare players, if you like, in midfield that were starting the game for each team. And I thought he did really well for his team. And I thought Dundee, their game plan, they stopped passing lanes into strikers, they forced Celtic into wide areas, and then they doubled up. And I agree with the manager there that, they worked so hard, their wide players and their fullbacks worked so hard to deny Celtic in those wide areas until that just one opportunity. And Charlie said that's what you get when you're playing Celtic, right to the death. They keep testing you, test your organisation, test your ability to defend, and ultimately that's what undone them.
I think the midfielders are so important when you're trying to deny that space through the centre. Tony, you've brought teams here that you don't want to give Celtic space in the centre, you want to put them round the outsides because that's the longest way to go. So players like Ethan Hamilton are in there blocking spaces, like Tony said, between the lines, and when they win it, the important thing is he's shown he's got the legs to then break forward.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for wrapping up your answer now, because we can hear from Martin O'Neill. He's with Iona.
Martin, what is the emotion after that match? What a way to do it, to get that through to the next round of Scottish Cup.
Well, as you can tell, I'm really drained. I thought that obviously Dundee played very, very well, but we found a way to win the game. First of all, we found some sort of resilience in the last minute of added time, and we get the goal. And I was just genuinely really, really proud of the team in the manner in which they kept going. It didn't look as if it was going to be our evening at all. And we found a way to, first of all, save the game, and secondly, to win it.
What did you say to your players just before extra time? Because momentum seemed to really pick up, and that's when it all changed.
Well, I think momentum comes with a side that has just scored an equalising goal. And I think what we'd had to do is just carry that momentum on into the first period of extra time. But I think the relief that you get from the equalising goal, and then the spur that you get after that there was incredible. So the players deserve enormous credit.
How much does this mean to you? Because the Scottish Cup's been a huge part of your life and career.
It has been a big part of my career, I must admit. I've loved it. I've loved the Scottish Cup, even when I haven't been here. I've loved the Scottish Cup because it's got a phenomenal tradition. It's still a really great competition. So we're still in it in that aspect. For how much longer, I'm not so sure, but at least we're there.
A word for Sebastian Tenetke and Junior Adamu. Junior especially getting that goal on his debut.
It was great for him to score a goal. Really, really great. And that's the thing that, first of all, it saves the game for us. Seb coming on and made a big difference to us. Big difference. Trying to take players on, trying to trying to dribble past a few players, and at least he had a little bit of backup to help him along the way. But yeah, he was a game changer for us.
How important is it to keep this momentum up now?
Well, right, it's a good point. I think eventually it's great that we're still in the competition, by a hair's breadth perhaps. But just keep it going. So we've got a big game then coming up now on this midweek, and we'll just try and keep it going. Let the lads, I suppose, just delight in the win that we've had because of the manner in which we've won it.
What would be your message to the fans at the moment, especially with what's going on off the pitch, with the disconnect between the board and some supporters groups when you do finally get a result like that?
Yeah, I think that a disunited Celtic is not what anybody wants, and I think the sooner that we could resolve the differences between all parties, the better.
Well, congratulations, Dave Martin. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Martin O'Neill there. Charlie, do you think the crowd had an impact on the players? Now there was a flat atmosphere in here, and there was a huge amount of fans stayed away from this one tonight.
Yeah, well, there's elements at this stadium that help with the atmosphere. Obviously, the Green Brigade are a big part of that. Obviously, the manager's message, everything goes together, and there's nothing better when that's totally connected, because you can feel it in this place. I've played in big European nights here. I've played in games where you need a late goal, and it's the energy in the stadium that gets you over the line. So definitely played its part. You could feel it. It was very flat, and the intensity only raised at the extra time when the game went to extra time.
I think the players actually need to take a lot of credit, because I did feel in those time on the last 10 minutes, there was a lot of groans, and because it was going exactly towards Dundee's game plan, they were getting them wide, they were doubling up, they were stopping their threat. But the players kept doing it, and obviously that's instruction for Martin and Sean. But the players need to be brave to do that. The easiest things to give up a position, and pass the ball back or pass the ball sideways. Tenecki there to take that opportunity to go and get at the full back and beat him on one occasion and put forward a cross. I think the players, you need to take credit for that. And then obviously you've seen the synergy with the crowd. And then I think there was only one team really, I think, going to win it after that. Because as you said, it really deflated Dundee, but obviously the impetus went to Celtic. But I think the players deserve credit for that.
Do you actually think that the players could kick on from this, like you mentioned there, that competition from places, the new signings have come in, and still yet to lose domestically under Martin O'Neill?
Yeah, Martin O'Neill's picking up results, but I look back to the Dundee United game here when he first came back for his second spell this season, and it was an unbelievable performance in terms of pressing, counter-pressing, winning the ball back, scoring goals, fluid attacks. I've not really seen a lot of that, even though he's been picking up the results, and that's the most impressive thing. So they need to get back to that. I thought they might have seen that tonight. It wasn't to be, but he'll know that the performances have got to pick up in order to keep maintaining to get the results.
Well, thank you very much, as always, for your company. Well, we were treated to a real cup thriller here this evening. Dundee thought they'd done enough, but Celtic came roaring back at the death to book their place in the quarter-final draw. We'll be back with you from the other side of Glasgow tomorrow. We'll see you at Ibrox from 1:30. But from now, good night.